You.
Thank you very much. Meanwhile, President Trump keeping his promise to secure our southern border with 74 miles of new wall built and another 159 miles under construction. So how significant is this, and how much further do we have to do and go to secure our border? U.S. Customs and Border Protection Deputy Commissioner Robert Perez joins us right now live from D.C. Robert, good morning to you.
Good morning, Steve.
Okay, so these numbers sound pretty good, right?
Well, they're exceptional, Steve, and we're only going to accelerate those numbers as the forthcoming months and going into next year comes upon us. So by the end of this week, we're going to have constructed now over 75 miles, a major milestone with respect to the wall construction. And a few important points, Steve. First, we're putting this new enduring capability in strategic priority locations throughout the entirety of the southern border, from California all the way down to Texas. It's also a border wall system, as we've mentioned before. It's not just the infrastructure of the wall itself, but the technology embedded into the wall and the infrastructure as well surrounding the wall, the roads, the lighting, all of which informed by the true experts on the ground, our frontline Border Patrol agents, who are the ones who've been informing all of us on what exactly they need to secure that front line in our border. And so we expect that by the end of next year that we will have constructed, again, with the accelerated pace that we're going to be reaching by way of construction over the next few months, over 450 miles of new border wall along that southern border by the end of next calendar year.
Okay, and I know that you have been pushing for it. That's why I said that it sounded good to you. Let's talk a little bit about what the border wall looks like compared to some of the earlier wall. I think we've got a before and after of the 30-foot wall versus a vehicle barrier, which I think was only about 5 feet high.
Well, that's a terrific point to make as well and emphasize, Steve, is that this is new wall. This is new enduring capability, again, placed in those most important strategic locations. And so there's a lot of confusion, I think, at times by some in mischaracterizing what it is we're constructing. But make no mistake about it, what this does for our agents on the front line, what this does for CBP, is give us a unique capability to have operational control of that border, to make sure we are interdicting all those who would seek to avoid us, particularly when it comes to drug smuggling and other criminals who try to continually penetrate not just the border communities, but all our communities around the country, Steve. The national security mission of CBP cannot be overstated. I expect that despite the fact that we had this humanitarian crisis over the course of this last year, when we tally up our year-end narcotic seizure numbers, we're going to end up seizing more hard narcotics along that southern border this past year than we had the year prior, despite the fact that we were dealing with a humanitarian crisis. Yeah. Again, it really speaks to the men and women on the front line and the job they're doing and the ongoing national security challenges we have.
All right. Robert Perez, we thank you very much for the status report.
I appreciate it, Steve. Thanks.
All right. So now you know. All right. 10 minutes before the top of the hour.